Hi there, and welcome to the Clear Skin Essentials, and I'm your host, Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So today I want to talk about the birth control pill. We'll talk about birth control pill and acne and polycystic ovarian syndrome. I get a lot of questions about what my opinion is of taking the pill to treat acne and PCOS, as well as what to do if you're getting off of the pill and your skin is breaking out, your hormones are all over the place, and how to make that transition a little bit easier and better. So what I've done is I've actually put together an article at my website, theclearskinessentials.com, today's blog post, that outlines guidelines that I have for those of you that are getting off of the pill and what to do within your diet and your lifestyle to support that transition off of the pill that can really get you healthy and get your hormones balanced. Plus, I've also put together a bunch of guidelines for those of you that are on the pill and how to support your health while taking the pill. Because when you're taking any kind of medications, it's really important to support your health. And what I'm going to do in today's video is I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience of taking the pill, and because I did take it when I was as a teenager and in my 20s, and also how I healed polycystic ovarian syndrome and my adult acne. And I did that naturally. Okay, so my story is that I was on the pill for almost a decade back, starting when I was a teenager into my mid-20s. And in my mid-20s, my doctor told me I needed to get off the pill. Okay, she pretty much told me I'd been on it for too long, and that it's not healthy to be on it for very long. And she looked at my face and was like, obviously it's not working. Okay, because I took the pill to try and clear up my acne. And it never helped, and I was always hoping it would. And so she took me off the pill, and my skin, like many people, my skin was even worse when I got off the pill. And my body was totally off balance when I got off the pill. My mood was up and down, I was all over the place. And it was very difficult getting off the pill, because the main thing is that whenever you take any kind of hormones, whether it's the pill or any kind of hormone supplement or hormone replacement therapy or even natural hormones. Anytime you're taking any hormone, you're messing with your own hormones and your body's ability to produce hormones, okay? Because your body, if it's not producing its own hormones and it's getting all these synthetic hormones, it's going to weaken your body's ability to make hormones and balance it. And then when you stop taking it, your body kind of goes through a withdrawal, and your body has to relearn how to produce hormones and to balance it and all of that. And so that's why for many of you, when you get off the pill, you notice your skin is all broken out, you might gain weight, you have mood swings, and even your period, it might take a while for it to be regular again or to start ovulating again, all of that. And it can take up to like a year for things to balance out. And so with my own personal experience is that it took almost a year for me to start feeling somewhat normal again. But it took almost, I would say, like almost 2 years for me to get a period. And what ended up happening was that I was reassured by my doctor in the beginning that it could take like a year to get a period. But she said if it takes longer than that, then we need to do more tests. So after a year, I got my blood work done to test my hormones, and I got an ultrasound done as well. And it turned out I had cysts covering both my ovaries, and I had a hormone imbalance, and I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I was told that I probably had polycystic ovarian syndrome all along, but because I was on the pill, it was masking my symptoms, and I didn't know it. And that really freaked me out, is that it's like, if the worst is being diagnosed, first of all, with polycystic ovarian syndrome, but even worse is not knowing about it and just feeling like your body is like you have no control of your body or your health. And what I found to be even more distressing was that doctors wanted me to go back on the pill to treat the symptoms of polycystic ovarian syndrome and to get my period regular again. And I didn't want to go back on the pill because I just had doctors taking me off of it, telling me I shouldn't be on it for very long. And from all that I went through with finding out I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, the last thing I wanted to do was go back on any kind of hormone. And so I had a lot of discussions with my GP and my endocrinologist about what it really meant to take the pill or any kind of hormone treatment, and if it was going to cure me, what was it going to do? Is this going to treat it or what? Or is it going to just mask the symptoms? And pretty much I was told that, it's the only benefit of taking the pill was that it was going to force me to bleed every month, right? It forces you to release the lining of your uterus. But when you're on the pill, you're not ovulating. You're not actually having like a real period, right? So it's just cleaning me out, which is good. That's important, but it's not necessarily treating my hormone imbalance or treating the symptoms. And so it's not going to cure me. And I didn't really like that. And so what I decided to do was, after lengthy discussions, was that I wanted to work with my doctors to see if I can try a more natural approach of getting myself super healthy, to see if that can heal me, if that can help me get my period back again and get my hormones working and get everything balanced again, as opposed to relying on taking hormones for the rest of my life. And so we agreed that we would meet every 6 months, and I would have a checkup, and they would do my blood work to monitor my hormones, and every year I would have an ultrasound to check my ovaries and to watch the cysts. And that the agreement is that I can work on my diet, cleaning my lifestyle up, all of that, but if I'm not getting a period for over a year at a time, that we had to discuss again about how to make sure that I'm having at least one bleed, one period a year. Okay, that was the goal. It was kind of like, if I can do it naturally, great, but if not, then we'd have to discuss medications and hormones. And so I kind of did what we would say is like a lifestyle makeover, okay, because in all honesty, I wasn't very healthy at that time. I used to be a smoker, and I ate junk food, and I drank coffee all day and night. Like, I wasn't healthy. And I knew it, and so I wanted to see what would happen if I got really healthy. And so I made massive changes to my lifestyle. And in fact, I went to the extreme of like going on like a raw food diet, and I really cleaned up my lifestyle. It was not only about diet, but also I made career changes and just got rid of all the bad stuff in my life and really focused on getting healthy and healing. And what ended up happening was that I would say over a period of like 5 to 7 years was I committed to massive changes within my life. And I ended up completely reversing every single symptom of Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. And in the beginning, I would say maybe the first year, I was able to balance out my hormones. That was sort of the first benefit of being on a super healthy lifestyle, was that my hormones all got to healthy levels. And then after that, or during that time, I was clearing up my adult acne. That was completely going away when I started adapting a much healthier diet, everything. And then from there, it took a few years, but my period became more and more regular. And also the cysts covering my ovaries, they all disappeared. Okay, and that was like a miracle. Right there. When we compared the films of like many years of having all these cysts covering my ovaries, and then suddenly they're all gone, was amazing to see. And then eventually I started ovulating, and then even a few years ago I naturally got pregnant and had my daughter. And I'm considered 100% cured. Okay, I don't have a single symptom of Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. And if you were to compare all my tests over the years, you would see it went from completely abnormal to normal. And it was amazing to see, because that all happened just from really being consistent and committing myself to a healthy lifestyle, and without taking drugs and hormones and all of that kind of stuff. And so that to me was proof that really if you can heal yourself, but it is about committing to it, and it's not something that's going to happen in 2 weeks. And it's something, and depending, what kind of, where your health is, it can take a long time. For me, it took many years of really changing things and balancing things out again. But the beauty of it is that it's possible. And that's why I want to share my story, is not to say like whether you should or shouldn't take medications or any of that, because that's up to you. I've done the two, right? But it is about knowing what your options are and working with your doctors. Because for me, that was a big one, was that I liked going in and seeing my doctors every 6 months and taking tests and monitoring things and having a discussion about what's working and what's not. You know, that there was plan A and there was also a plan B. And so what I've done, okay, at my website is today I've put an article together. I've written out my story there as well. And plus I've also shared tips and guidelines as to what I did that helped me, first of all, transition off the pill and get my body balanced again. And also giving guidelines too as to how to support your health when you're transitioning off the pill, and also if you're on the pill. Like, that's one thing I wish I knew back when I was on the pills, how to take care of myself better. Because whenever you're taking any kind of medications, it's that you need to be taking care of your health, and you need to actually be taking extra care of your health because you're taking medications, especially daily. You know, it's really, really, really important because you need to be supporting your body. And so do go to my website and check out today's blog post that comes with this video. And I'd also love to hear too what your experience is if you took the pill to treat acne or to treat polycystic ovarian syndrome, or what you did to transition off the pill, and what worked for you. I'd love to hear it. So do post your comments below, and I'm wishing everyone a fabulous day. All right, see you again soon.